Hello and welcome to Car Jump Arena Championship Top 16 Vehicles. I'm your host, David in Arc, and this is Top 16. This is part 2 of the Top 16 preliminary round. I'll put a card up in the corner to get you back to part 1 if you want to check that out, and then I will also have a card later once I get the next video in the series posted. I'll come back and put a card in here so that that'll help you get from video to video as we complete this series. And what we're doing is we're taking 16 vehicles that were suggested by viewers like you, and heck, it might have been you for all I know. You reached out and suggested vehicles that we could do for this competition, and I'm taking 16 of them that I could actually find online and or are in the game. We already ran the first 8 vehicles, and currently the top vehicle is Torsion's Wheelie Monster with an average score of 443,945. So now we're going to start, actually we'll do the next set of vehicles, and when this is all said and done, we will come up with a list of the top 8 vehicles who will move on to the next round. How does this work? Here's how this works. Each vehicle will go down the ramp twice. I will measure, I will calculate where they land, and I'm rounding forward, so if you land between 2 marks, then you get the next mark. And then points are, so that's how many points the vehicle receives, and then points are deducted for deform and brokenness, and that is taken directly off of that raw distance score, and then the 2 attempts are averaged together, and that average score is used to rank all the vehicles. Clear as mud? Awesome. Let's get rolling. Right now we've got the hover side by request, and I have no idea how this is going to go. I have no idea what this is going to do when we take this thing off of the jump. It's a little crazy. Oh, well, there we go. All right. Well, I've definitely beat the 500 distance mark. So what the other thing I do is I freeze. I can't remember if I said this or not, but I freeze the physics when the vehicle lands past a mark. Now, if the vehicle makes it past the 500 mark, they get 500 points. And then we look at damage. Oh, yikes. And then the other thing I do is as best as I can when the vehicle is done moving, then that's when I will pause it and we'll calculate a score. So 500 for the distance, and then we've got a 45.48 deform and a 1465 broken. That gives an overall first round score of 439,870. And just to compare notes, the Wheelie Monster had 444, so the hover side sits just below that for first round. Now we'll talk about second round here in just a second. Now I think it's going to be a little more fair if I get this vehicle kind of up off the ground a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I seem to be having trouble going. I mean, making the car go. Not that I have trouble going. You know what I'm saying? All right. We're good. Let's just drive. Here we go. I don't know what's happening. What's happening here? All right. So we are definitely, yep, we hit the 500 and we crashed and into the water. There we go. All right, so 500 for the distance. And as I mentioned in the other video, I have no idea what that distance is. I don't know if that's meters, feet, yards, flubermajubers. I have no idea. Whatever that unit is, that's what we're measuring. So it's 500 distance units, a 4258 deform, and a 10.18 broken. That is a second round total of 447,240. And Wow. So that puts the hover side above the wheelie monster for the second round. However, it puts it below the dragster for the second round. If you missed that first video and you haven't gone to check it out yet, the dragster had a completely disastrous first round, but the second round really made up for it. So overall, the average score for the hover side, 443.555. That puts it 0.410 points in second place. It sits, wow, man. It sits behind the Torsion Wheelie Monster by just a fraction. That is awesome. That's awesome. All right. So we've done the hover side, and next up, oh boy. All right. Next up is an RC car. I don't know which vehicle I should pick for this. I'm gonna pick. I don't know. Let's do the on-road grip. Let's try that. Am I the only one who sees this as absolutely ridiculous? Oh, it's ridiculously funny. That's what it is. All right, so I'm gonna try this and let's see what happens. Oh my gosh. Okay, well we're only going like 60 miles an hour. All right. Okay, I have a feeling. Look at that. I'm slowing down as it levels out. I don't think this is even going to get me a. All right, I have no idea what that line is. I'm going to call that line 50. So you get 50. Way to go. All right, so 50. And by the way, once a vehicle lands, and again, I can't remember if I said this or not, I pretty much take my finger off the keyboard or off the controller, and I just let it do its thing. Now, I will tell you, the upside that the RC cars have is that they have no damage recorded. So it's going to get a 50. And will probably be the only vehicle that ends up with 0-0 in terms of damage. And we're just going to let this car coast to a stop. That was definitely an unexpected side effect. Because, yeah. All right. Well, this could take a little while. Come on. Huh. Okay, well, there's no point in that. I mean, I know it's not going to take any damage. It can't. So, 0 damage, 0 damage. That's a first round score of 50. Now, I know it's not fair to mess with stuff. But, I mean, I want to see if upgrading to a stage 4 makes any difference. And if it does, then for the purposes of this, I will go ahead and run a stage 4 comparison. See, I'm already going way faster than I was, so let's see if this makes any difference. Oh, it does. Yeah. It actually, well, okay, so it makes a difference, but that actually is going to count as a 100 in the distance. I'll be honest with you. I just don't think it's even worth messing with because, I mean, 100, there's no way the rest of the vehicles are going to get less than 100. So, sorry, man, but that's just what it's going to be. So, 0, 0, and the second round score is 100 points, and overall that's an average of 75 for the RC car. Yeah, he's out, man. Sorry. We now know for sure the RC car is done. Okay, now this is probably going to take a little bit of editing because the next vehicle is the CRD Monster, and this is a pain in the butt to get positioned, so bear with me here a minute. Okay, here we go. Here we have the CRD Monster truck. And I hope I can keep the vehicle relatively straight, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to blow something here. Wow, it only goes 70 something miles an hour. Holy cow. Do you realize this means... Okay, that was actually over the line, so that is 100. Oh my gosh. I might have to go back and fix the... Oh, I truly did not expect this vehicle to do that. Wow, okay. I never would have thought that I'd have vehicles under 100. Now here's the thing. It got 100, but it's going to take damage. Oh yeah, but the other... Yeah, okay. Alright, well that was an unexpected issue. So I will most likely go back and do the RC car in the name of fairness. In the meantime, a 6.47 deform with a 1.24 broken. That is a first round score for the CRD of 92.29. And now we will do the same thing again. Again, bear with me while we get the crazy truck out of the ground. So yeah, let's see, would it be better if I just... Well, I can't, man. All right. All right, well, let's just see where we go. You know... Oh, holy cow. I'm going to go ahead and count that as 100. I think it may have actually hit the line, but that's okay. We'll count that as 100, and I will go back and do the... I'll do another round for the RC car just so that it's fair, because I changed the engine. Which I guess I didn't really think about that. Well, I'm a little torn because I could go back and set it as the default how it came, knowing that that's going to reduce the score to 50. Man, this is so tough. It's so hard being the purveyor of this particular endeavor. You know what I'm saying? All right, a 335 deform and a 128 broken. That is a round score of 95,370, a combined average score of 93,830. And I'm going to have to, first of all, get this up out of the ground. I can't in good conscience not redo the RC. I got to. I was hoping to avoid this kind of stuff, but there's just no way. I can't do that and feel good about what's happening. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna cruise down here. I might as well do one of these jobs. Whoa. Stay on the road there, buddy. Okay, I'm kind of losing it. What the heck is going on? I know what's going on with the camera. Oh, that's all right. And there's 100. So it's going to be 100 with no damage. And crazily, that means that it's got an average score of 100 because this vehicle does not take damage. And therefore, it is above the CRD. However, now that I've done this, of course, these are still going to not be in the top 8 by any stretch. So I could have left the CRD and the remote controls alone, but I don't know. I have a problem with that just because, to me, I have to make sure that I keep it as fair and on the level as I can. And so now we move up to the Sunburst Rally. Let's see what this puppy can do. This car looks so big compared to the RC, man. Oh, driving a little RC car. Ooh, look there, 144. Yep, right past the line. So is that a number? 300. We're going to call that a 300 for the Sunburst. And then the damage is going to eat this car alive. Oof. 2035 and 693. Giving it a round one score of 272, 720. That's actually not too bad. That puts it in 1, 2, 3, 4th place? Wow. Wow. That puts it in 4th place for round 1. We'll see what happens with round 2, knowing that the Dragster had a killer second round. The Dragster went the whole 500, and then with its damage and stuff, actually ended up with a pretty decent score. So, again, 300 for the distance. And let's see what happens with the damage this time. Oh! Not good. That was not pretty. 24, 26. Oh, boy. Yikes, that really knocks this down. And 12, 20. That's a second round score of 263, 540. Overall, 268, 130. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that puts the Sunburst in 5th place. When you start getting into the middle of the pack, man, that's not the pack, man. I mean, the middle of the pack, man. Things get very volatile. Things can move around.